The mode is merely the most frequently occurring score, and it's sometimes the case that the mode is not a majority. A mode must be used when we have a nominal scale as before. Let's take a look down here. I've got 100 students that rated their favorite restaurant in a hypothetical town. You can see right away the most popular choice was Luigi's, but Luigi's was not the favorite of the majority, only 42% or 42 over 100. So we got to bear that distinction. And of course, it's possible to have more than one mode. We could have had two 42s. There could have been two restaurants that tied at 42. So when we have a nominal scale, that's the only measure of central tendency that we can possibly list. And of course, restaurants are on a nominal scale. What that means is the name College Grill is no more valuable than Roxbury Inn or something like that. Now, with normal continuous data, of course, or skewed continuous data, I can easily see the mode. It's the tallest bar, tallest column. Clearly, the mode right here is 5 for letter A. The mode over here in B is 8. And I have two modes for C, which is certainly possible. I could have a tie, and in this case, there were two modes, 2 and 8. Just to illustrate that. And can we have more than one mode? Yes. Now, in this case, strictly speaking, as I look at these, turquoise colored bars or columns, and this is a histogram, even though that we have those subtle spaces between, there really is only one mode, literally, and that's the number 2. There are 8 2s and I think 7 10s. But we would call this binomial roughly in shape because there are two very distinct humps, if you will. Definitely, I would refer to this as binomial, even though strictly speaking, there is only one actual mode. But one thing to keep in mind is I must use a mode when it's a nominal scale. There's no other measure of central tendency I can use. I couldn't say we have a median preference of Oasis Dinner 0.5, Oasis Diner 0.5. That just wouldn't work. I can only list whatever the most frequently occurring score is. When we have an election, a mode, if it's not a majority, is called a plurality. And that happened in, several recent elections in which neither candidate enjoyed a majority vote. In fact, going back to 1992, I think Bill Clinton had only 43% of the vote in a three-way race between Clinton, George H.W. Bush, and Ross Perot, a third-party candidate that garnered 19% of the vote. So an astonishing, successful third-party candidate. So in that case, Bill Clinton was the mode. More people voted for Bill Clinton than either of the other two candidates by a pretty big margin. But nonetheless, that was the only measure of central tendency that could be used there, and it wasn't a majority. By the same token, if we were talking about as I mentioned before, the most common last name in the country is Smith, but less than 1% of people are named Smith. It's the most frequently occurring thing, but certainly not the majority. Although a mode, of course, can be a majority.